दोस्तों, good evening. I'm back and I'm going to talk to you another topic. मैंने आपको बताया ऑलरेडी कि the United Nations General Assembly meetings over और उसके बाद में there have been certain further developments, and one of these has been that where a Pakistan Prime Minister or General had never been to the White House for the last 6 or 7 years has been welcomed into the White House. This is the Pakistan Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif. Now, this should be a cause of worry to India, particularly to the Vishwa Guru, Narendra Modi. One thing I must say that Mr. Modi has been misled by the accolades showered on him by his supporters. They have been referring to him as the Vishwa Guru and whatnot, and the net result, gentlemen, is that he took it to heart. He thought he's the equivalent of Donald Trump, and his foreign minister was talking of a unipolar world, which is not a fact. And net result is he shot himself in the foot. It's a very sad state as far as the Indian government is concerned. I'm really very unhappy to see that Narendra Modi has no plan B of action. After the Americans withdrew the support for India, he has no B plan of action which is going to take further. And this shows the paucity of political thought. Running towards China is not a solution. China is India's enemy and will always remain so. And I'm afraid, I only hope that the Americans do not start considering India as an enemy. There are two things which are involved which Modi has to rectify, come what may, and one is the imbalance of trade. That has to be attended to. You can't have any watertight compartments and say that I'll put 200% duty, I'll put 150% duty on American goods like cars and motorbikes. At the same time, when my goods go there, I should get only 10 or 15% duty or tariff. So that is the problem, gentlemen, which we have to understand. India was getting away with all this because of an easygoing approach of the previous American presidents who thought that India would be useful to them as a bulwark against China. But that's not worked out because India is unable to confront China. That's a factual fact. And given a chance, India would like to live peacefully with China and forget about even claiming the border areas which China has occupied. But China is not satisfied and it wants more and more areas from India. It is claiming the entire northeast frontier agency, that is Arunachal Pradesh, and vast areas of Ladakh as part of Tibet, and by ipso facto as part of China. This is a very sad situation because it is Pandit Nehru who made that famous statement that I recognize the suzerainty of China over Tibet, and for Tibet I recognize autonomy. He was, I think, a little man who didn't out of his depth. I wonder how he could enforce what he was talking. There's no way he could do it. And sadly, everything floundered or sank down. Now, Pakistan is a very staunch ally of China, but given a preference, Pakistan would anyway prefer to be with the United States. And now these meetings which have taken place with Donald Trump have shown that they have gone home, that is, they've gone back to the American benefactors. And in the long run, I think China is going to suffer. Though the Chinese will be hoping that the Pakistanis don't ditch them. As far as India is concerned, as I told you, Narendra Modi has no plan of action. There is no plan B that if the Americans were to do this, what will happen? Now look at the way what has happened. India has got 50% tariffs on India's export to the United States. In addition, India has been advised, or rather cajoled, threatened that you better stop taking oil from Russia. And secondly, he has now put 100% tariff on Indian medicines going to America. I think the stock market has already crashed. And as far as the 50% duty is concerned, tariffs are concerned, it has left a couple of million people jobless in India. And yet Mr. Modi is talking of Nirmar, Atam Nirmar. And how he's misleading the public can be seen from the fact that recently there was a report that India is going to buy 94 Tejas Mark II fighters. Now I'm really bewildered. How are the fighters going to come and from where they're going to come? We don't make an engine here, and all the engines have to come from America. And is America going to give you 94 engines? They haven't given you a single engine, as far as I understand, at the moment now. And with Donald Trump in charge, I don't think we're going to get any more engines. They keep on talking of so many engines, the Russian engine will fit, the French engine will fit, or we'll fit our own Kaveri engine. All this is idle talk. To fit an engine into a machine, into an aircraft, a jet fighter, it takes time. There's got to be trials done. There's got to be so much time. It's a matter of 2 years before you can have the prototype, the first plane coming out. And how does Mr. Modi keep on talking Atmanirbhar, and the Air Force announced that they've ordered 94 um, Tejas Mark II. They have, of course, ordered the Rafale from France. But then, how does it change the situation? You're only changing your liability from America or from Russia to France. It's one and the same thing, and the French are not great powers in the world. And if you remember, the first lot of fighters which came, they were not given uh, the source code. India didn't get the source code. And the source code is important because it has to be attached to the aircraft so that they can mount other offensive weapons on the aircraft. And you can't do it without source code. So, gentlemen, it's not talking to Pakistan how going to help you. And he committed a blunder in attacking Pakistan with the Operation Sindoor. That was a big blunder. I think it was a geopolitical mistake he committed because that is the time when India lost force. I understand a lot of children are also killed in that attack. And then India developed cold feet, and I haven't come across any such thing happening, which I won't tell you now. I think the Indian, one of the top Indian leaders rang up the Pakistanis and said, look, we have attacked your camps, only the terrorist camp, we have not attacked the military targets, so you please don't reciprocate because we don't want escalation. I mean, so very silly. And then I think Narendra Modi thought that he's a greater man than Donald Trump, he's equal to him, and he was making all sorts of speeches in parliament everywhere that the ceasefire was not affected by America, by nobody in the world. What the hell has to go on talking about that? When you are nowhere in the top entity, you're talking about unipolar world. Do you think India is a big power compared to, say, Russia or China or America? What the hell is going on? And I feel very disturbed of all these things. And net result of that was that the Pakistani president and prime minister and the field marshal, they were repeatedly thanking Donald Trump for bringing about a ceasefire, and they recommended Donald Trump for the Peace Prize, the Nobel Peace Prize. And here the Indian Prime Minister talking a lot of BS, saying that I have got very clear instructions, a very clear idea. I will not give the credit to anybody for a ceasefire. So, gentlemen, one must know sometimes where to make a bend, where to make a curve, and where to supplicate yourself before the others. If Modi had studied psychology properly, he would have understood that Donald Trump is a narcissist. And why not humor him for the good of the country? And now he landed millions and millions of Indians into the quagmire, the point of no return. It's very sad, but that is a fact actually. And we must be very clear that the responsibility for what's happening with America is entirely that of Narendra Modi. Because he miscalculated. He thought he's got America in his pocket. And on the basis of America's support, he was going and showing two fingers to China all the time. And he was trying to isolate Pakistan, thinking America's on its side. But it's all gone, evaporated, like gone with the wind, gone. And now Pakistan is the eye of the apple of the eye, all over the world. And another thing is, there's an old saying by Dr. Goebbels, I think you all know about it. He was the propaganda minister of the Nazi Party, and he said, a lie repeated 100 times becomes the truth. A lie repeated 100 times becomes the truth. Now the Pakis have been shouting from the rooftop that we shot down 7 Indian planes and we defeated the Indians. But sadly, there's been no response from the Indians. Some muted response has come. Even Sabah Sharif in the United Nations speech, he harped on this aspect. And now we have nothing from the Indian side. So it's a lie which is being propagated. I don't know, whether India achieved the same. Because in my copybook, if I follow the principles of war, it's very clear that political aim is an extension of the military act. It's the art of war. And our probably political aim was to isolate Pakistan, number one. Number two, to brand Pakistan as a terrorist state. Three, to finish Pakistan's ability to fight terrorism. I think we failed in all these three things. And what was the purpose in that case of attacking the terrorist camps? And now the terrorist camps have moved northwards to the northwest frontier province. They're gone there now. And that has, I think, been confirmed by one of the Pakistani channels. And it's going to be very difficult for India to hit those places now. Because India could not do what the Israelis did. When the Israelis attacked, they destroyed every damn thing, Hamas, including the leadership. They were very well calculated attacks, but India couldn't do that. So, gentlemen, I think Narendra Modi has to start thinking, doing homework, how is he going to get out of the quicksand? Now, you're sinking in the quicksand, and the quicksand actually gobbles you up. That's the functionality of this bomb. So now the question is, how is Mr. Modi going to get out of this thing? I think he's having a very precarious majority in parliament, and I wouldn't be surprised if some of the people who vote against him in time to come with another 6 months or so, or any time. And as far as the people are concerned, I think they're getting a little cheesed on Mr. Modi's antics. I feel sorry for him. He was doing great guns in the first term and into the second term as cells, till the time, that Vishnu Guru went to his brain and he thought he's the equivalent of Donald Trump and the other world leaders, which he's not, because you cannot be a world leader on imported weapons. You cannot be a world leader without a potent military where you can activate and act anywhere in the world. No way. So, gentlemen, the problem is manifold. I don't think I will continue further. I hope I have made my point. And the fact is, India is on the back foot. That means Narendra Modi is on the back foot. And sadly, he didn't have a plan B to counter Donald Trump. Well, gentlemen, goodbye and God bless. Please subscribe to my channel. And I look forward to further interaction with you. And hope you will not only subscribe, you will comment and share whatever I've written. And I will close now. Wish you all the best. And my last word is goodbye and Jai Hind.